Hello everybody and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. Alright, so where we left off in the last game, we harvested our wheat, we harvested the barley, the oats, and we're still waiting on the soybeans. So as you can see here, soybeans won't be ready until October. So, but September we can seed either wheat or barley here. We can also do canola as well if we wanted to. And then oat we can't seed until March. And somebody brought up a really good point. Like, even though, so you get less yield of oats, but it's more, the price is higher, right? So looking at the economy here, so wheat, you could sell it at the Goldcrest Valley for 585 for 1,000 liters. So these prices are per 1,000 liters. And so oat obviously is going for a lot more than wheat, but the yield is less, right? So the question then becomes, you know, so it actually kind of seems like wheat and oat will have the same payoff, right? So if we like seeded a giant field, harvested that, we'll still get the same amount of money if we seed wheat than we did oat, because even though oat is like double in the price, we get like double the yield for wheat. So I guess that's how the game kind of balances this all out. But the point is, it kind of doesn't matter if we seed wheat or oat, you get pretty much the same amount of money. And then I think barley is the same thing. Barley actually is probably the least cost effective, right? Because the highest price is, you know, $525, but like wheat, it's $585, and you get more wheat from your harvest than you would with barley, as we saw. So we'll stick with the wheat for now, especially because what I want to do is buy the bakery, right, and also the grain mill, and we'll be able to, if we buy the grain mill, we could use the wheat, make it into flour. And so if we look at how much flour is going, you know, $800. But if we had the grain mill making the flour for us, what we could do is then sell it to the well, we don't sell it to the bakery, we'll buy the bakery. And so what we'll do is actually make bread. And then when we make the bread, you can see $2,000 for 1,000 liters of bread, right? So that's huge. And then cake is even like way more. So we can make cake. I don't know if in order to make cake, you need butter as well, but or if you need like dairy. So probably need to figure out what it takes to make cake, but that's going to be the plan for us. I think we're going to continue to plant wheat, and then we're going to buy the grain mill so we can make our own flour, and then we're going to buy the bakery so we can make our own bread and cakes. And then we'll sell our cakes and bread to like the supermarket or the fast food restaurant or the bowling alley. Looks like the bowling alley wants cake as well. So, you know, I think that's what we're going to do. That's the plan. And hopefully we'll be able to make a lot more money doing it that way than just doing wheat every year over and over again. So, well, let's go ahead and get to it. And also, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and like and subscribe the video. It really helps me out, and it also helps you out as well, because when you're subscribed, you get notified when there is new content available. So you know, if you're subscribed, you won't miss out on this series. So let's go ahead and get our plan in motion. And we still got this soybean field here. So I got to make a really tough decision, right? Because next month I'll be harvesting the wheat, but I want to make I want to combine all 3 of these fields into one giant field and plant my wheat there. Maybe what I could do, well, yeah, because when soybeans is in October and next month is when we are supposed to plant the wheat. So I guess we're just gonna go ahead and destroy the soybeans here and just do wheat. And I don't actually know if this is the best strategy, but like I said, if we can buy the old mill and then buy the bakery, we'll be able to make a lot of money selling bread and cakes to the grocery market. And it looks like we got some weeds going on here in our wheat fields and also our other fields as well. This one has a lot of weeds in it, so we'll need to weed these fields. And actually they need to be cultivated anyway, so I don't know if the cultivator will handle those. So maybe that's what we'll do today, is we'll cultivate these fields. And actually no, what we'll do is we'll plow these fields and combine them all. I hate to destroy the soybeans, but you know, we want to grow the wheat and maximize our profit there so we can progress through the game more. I also want to see how much this farmland costs. So we got 287,000. This costs 244,000. So if we bought this, we would have a little over $40,000 left. So I could take a bit of a gamble here and buy this field and have just one huge wheat field, right? The problem is I have that medium tractor and it's going to take me a long time to plow, seed, do everything I need for these fields. But before we decide to purchase the field, I want to see what's on this big field first. If it's anything we can maybe profit from. So this one field is just weeds. It's not being used for anything, looks like. So, and then what do they got going on in this field over here? Oh, so this was also a barley field. The problem is if I buy this farmland now, I may not have enough money to buy the grain mill. Speaking of which, how much does the grain mill cost? This is the grain mill, but how do I... Oh, I have to actually go to it and buy it. So let me see how much it costs. I think the bakery costs about like $50,000, so, but I want to see how much the mill costs. So I'll meet you guys over there. Love jumping over that. I will take a little shortcut. Why not? Who's gonna stop us? Oh, there goes my truck. Oh, I don't want to end up in the river. Good thing there's no crash damage on these vehicles. That sign didn't need to be there, did it? All right. $96,000 for the grain mill. Okay. Now let's go to the bakery, see how much that is. Places you sell wheat to. Wheat grain to. All right. There seems to be like like you can't just flip it over your trucks or tractors, so that's good. We're just gonna take another shortcut here. All right, here we are at the bakery. See how much this is going for. 50,000. So together about $150,000, $146,000 to be exact. Purchase that. But we have to wait until next season to harvest all that wheat. But if we plow all of our fields, combine them together, and we just do wheat, we should have a ton of it. So let's go. Let's just gamble. Let's do it. All right. So now, aha. So this is what I thought. So not only do you need flour. So let's see. What does bread need? So bread needs flour. So we can definitely do bread with the wheat. But for the cakes, we need flour, we need sugar, we need, I don't know what that is, salt? Yeah, I think that's salt. Then we need eggs, which means we need chickens. We need butter, which means we need cows, and then we need a strawberry. So that's why the cakes cost so much, because there's a lot of crap that goes into them. But we can still do bread. And we still get a pretty good price for bread. But the cake is definitely going to be like the end state, you know, of the game. Well, not the game, but that's definitely going to be like the boss before the final boss, you know what I mean? Alright, let me go back to the grain mill. We'll buy that. And then we need to plow our fields and combine them all together so we can do one giant wheat field. Okay, back at the grain mill. Let's go ahead and just purchase it. Okay, so this is production chains. So now that we got the grain mill, we just need some wheat. But what's cool about this is it also takes in barley, oat, and sorghum. And so can you make, oh, so you can make flour out of any of these. Interesting. But I think you get more yield with the wheat. We definitely got, like, we got almost 18,000 liters with the wheat. And then oat, I don't think we even got like 8,000 liters of oat. So we get a lot more wheat. And that's why I want to kind of do wheat, because you just get more. And the more we could feed it into this grain mill, the more wheat we could produce, you know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? All right, so that brought our money all the way down to $140,000. But I think there's some contracts we could do. So we have this juicy one for $30,000. What is this one? Harvest the potatoes in Field 10 and take the product to Feed and Grain South. Use your own equipment or lease equipment for reward reduced by $14.82. Let's go ahead and do this one. It's going to be that one's going to take us a while, I'm pretty sure, but that one's really hard to pass up because it's a harvesting one, and harvesting ones are usually get the best return on investment on those. So whoa, whoa. All right, we're good. Just driving in somebody's field. I'm sure they don't mind. All right, I really want to get a lot of speed over this jump here. All right, we're maxed out. Yeah. All right. Now with the truck back at the farm, I'm just going to take this. This is the potato harvester. Where we're going with this? Field 10. Field 10 is this one over here by the Johnson's Farmers Market. Okay. Let's go. Let's go harvest some potatoes. Ah. Wow, this is the fastest this thing goes. Okay, I will see you guys over at the potato farm next year. Okay, almost there. I can see the field. Start harvesting them spuds. And of course, when AI takes over, it just Messes the whole thing up. Yeah, that's why I don't like using the AI. Yeah, see, it's not even going to the end of the field. Like, the AI is so freaking dumb in this game. Yeah, this is going to take a while, especially with the freaking AI just doing its own stupid thing. I haven't looked at mods yet to see if there's any mods out there that have like a smarter AI system or something. And I also wonder too if there's like a camera mod out there so you don't have to get this perspective all the time. So I might get that as well. We'll do that next time. Well, don't collide in with me, guy. Jeez. Let me get out of the way first. %. That whole load of potatoes only got us 8% done. Yep, this is gonna take a while. Damn, we still needed to do some plowage. Oh, this is fun. Just me and myself harvesting potatoes. I don't think life could get any better. I really don't. I've reached the pinnacle of my life. Just sitting here and watching this thing harvest potatoes. That's what I've been waiting for my whole life. All right, I'm gonna start on the plowing here while my potatoes are being harvested because it's gonna take a while. So what I could do is just when the AI says that the potatoes are full, I'll go ahead and dump them. But I'm gonna get started on the plowing here. We're gonna destroy these soybeans, which kind of stings a little bit, but we want to make that wheat. And the reason why I want the plow is we want to merge all 3 of these fields together into one. Hold up. Okay, so wheat we can seed. Okay, so hold up. So soybeans we could harvest in October, and then we could also seed wheat. So we can harvest those soybeans. So yeah, let's salvage the soybeans that we have. And then October we could harvest the soybeans and then seed the wheat. Okay. Yeah, so all these fields have been plowed. They're now one field, so we'll be able to seed all of our wheat in this one giant field, as well as with these smaller fields, and be able to make a bunch of wheat that we can then use the grain mill that we purchased to make flour, and then we can use that flour for the bakery we purchased to make bread. Oh yeah. All right, let's see if we could do better. We could definitely do better than that. There we go. Oh man, I'd give that like a 6 out of 10. That wasn't that impressive. We need to get more speed. There we go. I'd give that a 8 out of 10. Oh wow. Got a whole friggin' lake here. Or a reservoir. Pond. Oh, it's a pond. Duh. I knew that. Inventory. Found another plow. Cool. Oh, another one right here. Dude, nice living room. Very two-dimensional. So I still got less than half of the collectibles, so yeah, still trying to see where the other collectibles are, I guess. We'll go ahead and wash our tractor while we're still waiting for these potatoes to be harvested. Okay, the contract on field 10 is finished, and we're getting extra money for the potato harvest. Still got some leftover potatoes to get, so I'm gonna grab those so we could get some extra money. And then we'll be done for today. Man, that took like all day to harvest those potatoes. It's already 5 o'clock. And we started like around 9 o'clock. So like, geez. They need to make that potato combine header a lot bigger or something. I don't know. Get multiple potato harvesters running. All right, we got like $10,000 in extra cash for that potato harvest. All right, so that potato harvest is complete. We can go ahead and collect that $30,000. Not too shabby. I'm just gonna head back to the farm here, and we're just gonna call it a day. And we'll see if those other contracts are still available, and probably do those today, because just so I could get a little extra money, you know. All right, we are in September. The weeds are really long, but we got one more day until we can harvest our soybeans, which is good. I just want to see, yeah, so the baling contract's still available, so we'll do that one. And then there's also another potato harvest that we could do for $10,000. That one's good, so we can do that. And then cultivating, this one's pretty easy, right? Okay, well, we skipped ahead to October. September, we just did a couple of contracts. So if you look at our report here, September, we did around 40,000 in contract income. So we made a total profit of $50,000 at September. And so that's why my money's jumped up to 229,000. But it's harvest time today. We got soybeans we need to harvest. So let's go ahead and get those going. Rain reduces yield during the harvest. Well, that's cool. Well, it looks like it's going to be sunny pretty soon, so maybe I could wait. So it should stop raining about 10 o'clock. I guess we'll wait. All right, let's get to cultivating. Oh, okay, come on. Does the rain just make the tractor more slippery, or is it just my poor driving skills? So it looks like cultivating does get rid of the weeds, so that's good. All right, I got most of the cultivation done, and looks like the rain finally freaking let up. And so now we should be able to harvest our soybeans. Maybe I should pick up the cultivator. We'll still keep the cultivator around because we'll still need it for the after we harvest the soybeans. But let's hop into our harvester and start harvesting again. All right, let's harvest some soybeans. Really? Why do you have to be here right now? Jeez, all of that just to get 56 5,600 liters of soybeans. So yeah, we're not doing soybeans because the yield is like really low. How much? Well, soybeans is 1,000, so that'll give us so if we go to Goldcrest Valley, that'll give us almost $6,000 in money. That's still pretty low though. That's still pretty low. All right, I'm gonna hop on the tractor, get the soybeans in the trailer, get them sold off to the train, and then we'll finish up the cultivating of that large field. And we're on our way to Goldcrest Valley to sell our soybeans off for a very low price of almost 7,000. So all that work just for $7,000 worth of soybeans. Love to see it. Love to see it. Anywho, let's go back to the farm and cultivate the rest of that field and do other fun stuff. All right, now I'm just gonna go ahead and cultivate the rest of these fields, or field, I should say. We made it into a gigantic field now. I would say medium size. You know, there's definitely bigger fields, and we can definitely make this bigger if we bought the farmland above us here. Also, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and please like the video and subscribe. It definitely helps me out, and it helps you out to know when new content is available. All right, looks like we're good and cultivated now. Now, all we need to do is pick up the rocks. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the roller to pick up the smaller rocks, and then anything larger, we'll just get the rock picker and pick up the larger stones. And we'll need the roller again after we seeded our... Yeah, we could fold this up. After we seeded the wheat, we'll need to use the rollers again to roll the field. So, stuff we've done before, so nothing new here. All right, I think all of our... Whoa, what's going on there? All right, all of our fields have been rolled. I just need to go get the stone picker now to pick up these larger stones in our large field here. I also need to get gas, so I'll go ahead and get the stone picker, and I'll meet you guys back here, and some gas, and I'll meet you guys back here. Okay, all fueled up. Wow, $255 for fuel. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Okay, I'll stop. All right, we're back at the farm, so now we can start picking up these stones. And I'll probably just do the whole field, even though the stones are only in areas where I just plowed, but we'll do the whole field anyways. All right, all the rocks have been picked up, or stones, I guess. And as you can see, we just need lime on our small west field here. And then we need lime on our large field here just because we plowed these areas. So we just need to grab a little bit of lime, lay it down on these areas, and then we should be ready to seed. And then once we're done seeding, we got to roll again. But before I do that, I need to go drop these rocks off. So let me go and do that, and then return the stone picker. So I'll meet you back at the farm when we're ready to do some more liming. Liming? When we're ready to put lime on the fields is where I'll come back. Oh, I didn't see this one on top of the building here. A little combine on top of the equipment shop. We'll have to figure out how to get that. All right, just gonna grab the fertilizer spreader here. unload the fertilizer that we already got, and then we'll go. We have a pallet of lime at the equipment shop, so I'll go there and pick that up. But there's also a lime station that's next to that Goldcrest Valley train station that we go to, that we can also get lime from. So we'll go there and get some lime, or get some more lime. Get some lime here. All right, we're back at the farm with the lime. I'm going to try to be a little bit deliberate here and just put lime on places that we plowed, like over here. You can see the road used to be here, and that's what we plowed over, so we can just put our lime over here. And then again over here where we have where it used to be a road that we plowed over, and just do the same thing. Oh, just need a little bit more. There's a little sliver that I plowed. All right, that field is nice and limed. Again, I don't know if that's a verb. I'm pretty sure it's not, but I should say we laid down the rest of the lime on this field, and so now we just need to go put lime on this field. I also had leftover lime, and I bought more, so I'm dumb. Why am I being so dumb today? I don't know. All right, our fields are nice and limed. But now we need to fertilize before we seed. And then after we seed, we fertilize again. Well, we roll and then we fertilize again. So let me go dump off this extra lime next to the other extra lime. All right, let's start fertilizing. All right, how we're doing on fertilizing? All right, I think we got everything covered here, so we just need to fertilize our other smaller fields here. All right, perfect. Hopefully I got enough seeds. I may have to go and buy some more seeds. Why? And I'm stuck. Fucking perfect. Come on. Really? Jeez Louise. Who's the asshole who put the frickin' seeder in wrong? All right, let's change it to make sure we got wheat. I think that's wheat. Let me just double check. Yep, wheat. So we're good to go. And I just realized too, I need to go to the menu here and make sure that we actually switch on the seed refill. Since we're down to 7% now, we don't want to run out of seeds. Why is the AI doing this? What is it doing? Where are you going? Okay, I'm just gonna intervene here. Like, for fuck's sake, man. Starting to get dark. We gotta get these fields ready. But we got this large field left to seed, and then we still need to roll and fertilize again. We could probably fertilize tomorrow, but actually I wonder if we can't. I wonder if we can't fertilize until tomorrow anyways. What are you doing? Holy crap, dude. All right, we're finally done seeding. That took freaking forever. It's 7 o'clock right now. And we still need to roll. Pretty sure we still need to roll. Yeah, it needs rolling. Needs rolling. All right, we just need to roll up these fields, and I think they'll be ready. They'll be fully ready. And then tomorrow, November, we'll do some weeding once the weeds start to grow. I'm also, after we're done rolling, going to call it an episode, so you'll have to catch that in the next episode. All right, finally, these fields are freaking rolled. We are seated, we are rolled. So tomorrow in the next episode, we'll do some weeding and more fertilizing. And then our fields will be prepared for the harvest. What is going on with these rollers, man? Like, come on. It was a long day today. We started at 8 a.m. It's now 8 p.m. It's 2019. 2019, for those who don't know, military time, which it's actually not called military time. It's 24-hour time. It's what the military uses, so they don't have to be like 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. So 2020, it's 8:20 p.m. So, and we started at 8 a.m., but because it was raining, we couldn't actually get started until 10 a.m. because to harvest our soybeans because of the rain. I guess rain kind of screws with your harvest yield, and we didn't really get that much from the soybeans anyway, but it matters not. So yeah, looking at our report here, so yesterday we made $50,000, and then August we lost $100,000, and I think that's just because we bought, and that's because we bought the grain mill and also the bakery, so that makes sense. But we got half of it back in September. We didn't do any contracts today in October. We were just mostly preparing our fields. But we did get $7,000 in soybeans harvest, and then September we also got a little bit of money for doing the hay bales. So yeah, September I just pretty much did contracts all day, so I pretty much skipped that whole day together. But we got $4,000 in like hay bales and $40,000 just for doing the contract. Same thing in August. We had pretty sizable contracts there that were kind of hard to pass up, but so now our total is $228,597, and yeah, tomorrow we'll be doing some weeding maybe, and then or in the next episode we'll weed our fields, fertilize them again, get them all prepared, and then we'll just see if there's any like contracts that we can do. If not, we'll just skip the days until it's ready for us to harvest our wheat. And once we harvest the wheat, we'll take it to the grain mill that we own, and then that'll produce flour for us, and then we'll take the flour over to the bakery will produce bread for us, and then we can take the bread over to the supermarket or whichever gives us the most money for bread. Actually, let's see what the highest payout is. Looks like Red Marble Bowling Restaurant, the bowling alley. Okay. So that's the biggest payout right now. So yeah, now that we got wheat seeded, we'll be able to harvest it in July. Maybe we'll wait one more month just because we seeded in October. But it should be ready by July, so we could harvest it in July. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. Thanks so much, you guys, for watching. If you like the video, go ahead and hit the like button, and also subscribe too. Subscribing helps me out, but it also helps you out to be informed on when new content is available for you. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.